Manouk Akopyan. Thank you for tuning in, and thank you to our partners, personal injury attorney Nelson Gavorkian. Hi, everyone. I am joined by Ernesto Tito Mercado, one of the sport's rising stars, contenders, prospects, whatever you want to call him, but he is definitely someone to keep an eye on moving forward. And he's going to show what he's made of November 9, making his Matchroom boxing debut on the Jaron Enos Bam Rodriguez doubleheader in Philadelphia on the Zone. Tito, you've accomplished a lot already in such a short time in your career. 16-0, 15 knockouts, boxing scenes prospect of the year in 2023, and here you are with a big year in 2024 again. Let's kick off with the big news, signing with Matchroom Boxing. Congratulations. I know a lot of promoters were after you for a long time, but why did you choose to go with Eddie Hearn in Matchroom?
It's more so on what we've seen them been doing. They've been doing big things. They've been working with all types of promoters. Obviously, they're working with Turkey, and they're just as of now, the way we see it, there's the promoters that are making the big fights happen and are able to make them. You got guys like Berlanga, who a lot of people didn't think deserved the Canelo fight, but they were able to, uphold their word and, promises on fights that they could get. And if I want the biggest names, I think I need to go with a guy that could make it happen. I think Eddie Hearn and Matchroom was the fit for me.
What were some of the, I'm sure all of the major promoters were after you. What uh, struck you as the best qualities that Eddie Hearn brought outside of kind of getting you those big fights? What were some of the promises that you're looking for him to keep?
I mean, look, man, they have a good promotional company, right? They have a good platform, and I think Eddie Hearn is doing a great job on making fighters superstars, more like global international stars, and that's what we want. He's somebody said the other day he's a great salesman, and he is, man. And it's up to me to be able to, you know, uh, make sure that everybody thinks the product is as good as it says it is. And like I said, man, I think he's just a guy that could turn fighters into superstars, and I think that's what we wanted.
Obviously, your dad and trainer Neto, he was really building you up at a grassroots level in Southern California. He even fought in Nicaragua. And here you are now graduating to the big stage, and it's going to be a lot of a lot of big audiences and eyeballs on you now moving forward. You were perhaps one of boxing's best kept secrets for a while, and I think a lot of the boxing public now will understand what you bring to the table. What are you looking for this coming out party on November 9? What are you looking to do?
Definitely still a show, man. I mean, it's a big undercard. You got two guys who are on the verge of becoming, I believe, superstars. You got Bam and you got Boots, who, obviously they're pushing to become, like I said, real big superstars. And to be on a card like that with, I feel like there's gonna be so many eyeballs. That's the perfect time for me to go over there and steal the show. And then, like you said, man, show everybody who Tito Mercado is, because all the boxing fans, all the hardcore boxing fans know who I am. Now it's kind of time to put the casual fans on notice.
Absolutely. And just 22 years old. And your opponent is young too, 23, and he's a southpaw. Um, do you like fighting southpaws?
Yeah, no problem with southpaws, man. I know a lot of guys prefer not to. To me, it doesn't really matter. I would have fought a southpaw a long time ago if presented the opportunity, but we've seen this guy. He's a tough guy, good southpaw. He's defeated some undefeated fighters, and that's what we wanted. We wanted a guy that's gonna be able to push me, so that when I get that spectacular KO, everything just is much more sweeter.
Yeah, and he's had some opportunities as well too, specifically on Pro Box lately. I'm sure you've seen some tape on his fights. What do you make of Jesus Sriracha, who's 14 and 2 and 1 with 11 KOs?
Man, he's a strong guy. He's a strong guy. Definitely has a heavy punch. Which means, at any given time, man, the fight could change around. So that's what we kind of wanted. We wanted something with, like I said, man, something that challenged me, pushed me to my limits. Like I said, strong guy, southpaw. We've seen some tape of him, beating undefeated guys, tall guys. So we know that to him is nothing new, and we want to be able to prove something out there, man. Like I said, he's been taking out undefeated guys, and we want to show that he's not that.
And in regards to southpaws, how many have you fought in your professional career? Have you fought any southpaws?
I haven't fought any southpaws as a date, my professional career, but I have fought guys that switched as a southpaw, maybe like twice in my professional career, but mainly I fought a lot of southpaws in my amateur days. I fought a lot. So to me, matter of fact, my first fight as amateur was a southpaw. So it's no it's nothing new or complicated to me.
And in regards to next year, which will probably be a big year for you with the plans that Matchroom has. What are the conversations you've had with Eddie? What's kind of the course of action for what are some of the opponents that are out there in the distance for you?
Man, I mean, there's just so much opportunity, especially Eddie, man. He has a big stable at 140. And really there's no limit, man. Just depending, how I look and everything, how everything goes. And like I said, man, hopefully we're able to get a world title shot maybe sometime next year. Obviously Eddie's the guy that will be able to make that happen. He makes big fights happen, and it doesn't matter which world champion presents themselves first. I know Eddie can make the job happen. So I'm excited about what the future has in hold for me.
And 140, it seems like anyone can lose on any given night. There's some really 50-50 fights out there. Uh, who are some guys you have your eyes on? Who would be an ideal kind of top 10 opponent for you next time out?
As far as the world champions, man, at 140, I think they're all great fighters, but it just depends, man. I think Liam Paro will probably be the easiest to make. Obviously sign with Matchroom. But I have my eyes set on guys like Devin Haney, Teofimo Lopez. I think those guys are the two most popular guys at 140, and to be able to beat them and make a big statement out of that, I think that'll definitely boost my name up and put me, that that much closer to being a superstar that I want to be.
Do you think you could challenge? Do you think you will get an opportunity to challenge for a title next year? Is that something Eddie has planned for you?
Of course, man. I've already accomplished so much. I fought top guys, and I want to continue to keep doing that, top guys. And me beating these guys, like I said, I want to fight these guys in the top tens, and it should be in no time that you hear me fighting for a world title. I feel like I'm ready for the fast track, and I'm ready now.
You mentioned Devin Haney. I'm curious what you make of all the fallout since the Ryan Garcia fight. Do you think he'll ever be the same kind of fighter again after what he went through?
Honestly, I don't think so. There's certain types of losses that certain fighters can come back from, but there's certain type of damage too that you can't come back from, and I don't think that's that type of shots that he took, the way he got beat. I don't see a fighter come back from that. It's kind of like a Meldrick Taylor thing when he got beat by Chavez. He was just never the same again. Those type of punishments, man, you just don't come back. But no, man. I mean, regardless, I mean, they still have him WBC champion in recess. So I'll still love to take that strap from him. Obviously a little concerned. I might get charged with double homicide or something. I might get a lawsuit coming after I'm done fighting him. But no, I mean he's a character, and like I said, man, still a big name and still a good name to have on my resume, regardless.
Obviously, you're referencing the lawsuit that he filed against Ryan Garcia for battery and assault. I mean, a lot of the boxing public has opinions on that. What's your opinion on just obviously Ryan tested positive for a banned substance, regardless of the situation. But what do you make of that? Uh, the aftermath of a fight could end up being that.
I think they did too much, inside of Team Haney. I think now with that, it makes him look very, very soft. Regardless, obviously Ryan took steroids. I know it's like a billionth of a gram. To I mean, my personal opinion, a lot of people may not agree, but I think with or without the substances, I think Ryan Garcia would have beat Devaney regardless. The left hooks were just on point every single time, and obviously it hurted him. Everybody knows it's not a secret that Ryan has power in the left hook. So I mean, whether with or without it, it's not like Ryan had no power. Not all of a sudden he just knocking people out. So um, I don't know, man. It just made him look very, very soft, and they took the loss off his record. Um, I know so I don't know, man. I don't know. I think it just makes him look very soft, and I think more than anything trying to be more relevant. I think that's what he's doing, it to be more relevant, and trying to get more gate out of his next fight or something so he can stay relevant. Like I said, I don't really know what's the motive of that, but it makes him look very weak in the boxing community.
And Ryan Garcia is right around your weight class. I think that would probably be a dream fight for you too, right? To get an opportunity like that. Do you think that's a fight that could ever happen because Ryan is obviously growing in weight. It seems like you would be catching up to him at 147 or a catch weight or something like that. Did have a did the conversations with Eddie ever lead to Ryan a potential fight with Ryan?
No, we haven't had talks about Ryan, but I would love to have a fight with Ryan. I don't think so much of him as a boxer, to be honest with you. I think he has great physical capabilities. He's fast, he's strong, hits hard. But yeah, man, he's just growing in weight though. The last time I seen him, he looked like he's like 190 pounds. So maybe I won't see him at 47, maybe I'll see him at 54. But no, definitely I'd love to get a fight with him. He's definitely he brings in fans, and that's what you want. A big knockout over him will mean a lot too.
At 140 pounds, how big do you think you want to get? What's kind of the division you kind of see yourself retiring in at some point?
Um, Hopefully, man. I want to go. Obviously, I'm a fighter. I'm a competitor. I want to say, heavyweight, but obviously, it's not realistic. Maybe somewhere around 160, man. Maybe 160, if maybe pushing 168 if I'm fortunate, if I feel in good. But I think 160 will probably be the division I end in my career.
So all the way up to 168, huh?
Yeah, I feel like I have the physical capabilities. I just got to feel in right. Obviously, the strength conditioning has to be right. But I'm pretty tall for my weight class already as it is. So if I feel in pretty good, I think I could be able to compete with those big guys.
So five division world champion is kind of the goal that you have planned for yourself.
Yeah, man, that'd be great. All the champions I looked up to, they all went multiple divisions. So to be able to do that too, I think it'll make my stamp on the boxing world.
Seems like you're training hard for this fight. I see a little bit of a nick on your right eye. Got some good sparring lately, I assume.
Yeah, no, this was from my headbutts. Sometimes you gotta be more careful from the headbutts and the elbows than the punches and sparrings. But no, man, we got great sparring here, and I feel ready, man. I can't wait for November 9th to show everybody what I've been packing.
And you're on the undercard of Boots and Bam. What are your thoughts on them as fighters? Boots is obviously uh, hasn't had the quality of opponents that a lot of people would like for him to have at this point in his career, but that's probably more doing of the opponents not wanting to fight him than him. He's obviously a very skilled fighter, but he's obviously also a weight class away from you. What are your thoughts on Jerome Boots Ennis?
I think John is a great fighter. Like you said, based on his resume, people can't really a lot of people discredit him in some sense, and I respect him though because he's trying to get those big fights with Crawford. Obviously, I think that's a mistake. I think Crawford wins that fight, but you know, um, he's searching for those big fights. He's asking for them. It's just unfortunate that we haven't seen him with some really, top dogs to be able to say he's really the goods like that. But from what we see so far, he's a very talented fighter, and I can't wait to see him with the top guy to be able so he can start making his stamp in the world. It was kind of like I don't want to compare it to apples, but kind of like Roy Jones in a way because at one point he didn't have nobody to really competitive to fight with him. So a lot of them were kind of discrediting him for a second, based on the weight class and stuff that he was in. But no, I think John Busanis is a great fighter.
You're obviously a student of the game. You know your history, and you mentioned Terrence Crawford. He's a generational great, and he'll go down as one the best fighter of his era. And he wants to prove his legacy by fighting Canelo Alvarez. As we were just talking about these weight classes, that'll be three weight class. Well, no, not three, two weight classes because he just made his 154-pound debut. But what would a Crawford Canelo fight look like? What do you think?
I think that it's just too many weight classes. Terrence originally comes from 35. I believe Canelo, I mean, to become a man, obviously, you can't count when he was 14, 15 fighting at 140. I think he originally started his campaign at really 47 if you want to be like, obviously back with that. But I don't know. I just think he's too big. I just think he's too big. Weight does matter. Skills obviously is important, but weight does matter. And I kind of see it in a way, kind of like Bivol versus Canelo in a way. Canelo Canelo really couldn't get off like he wanted to in Bivol, and every time Bivol let his hands go, it was just too much because he's too heavy. So I kind of see that repeating with Canelo versus Crawford. I just think he's too big. But that's my personal opinion. I don't know what Crawford has packing. Sometimes you'd be surprised on what fighters can do.
Would you like to see that fight though? As a fan of the sport, do you think that's a fight we should see?
Yeah, why not, man? They're both great fighters. I think that'd be dope. We haven't had a really big fight like that in a long time, so I think that would be interesting. And like I said, man, if Crawford's able to pull that off, I think he might go down as one of the greatest fighters of all time to be able to pull that off.
I'm sure you'll be raising your hand to be on the undercard of that one.
Of course, man. Of course, that's a big undercard. To be able to be on something like that, that's a lot of eyeballs, man. And you really got to perform to be on that. And that'd be dope. That'd be dope to be able to do that.
When going back to some of the plans Eddie has for you, when could we expect for you to be in a main event, headlining your own show on the zone? How soon do you think you're going to get ranked by the sanctioning bodies to get up there for a title shot?
Man, all that really just depends. It depends on type of fights, quality opponents that we're able to get in the ring. A lot of these guys, we had I would say kind of a tough time. Nobody wanted to fight me for this fight, so it just depends on what type of quality points we're able to get. Based on the ranking points for the sanctioning body. But I know Eddie's has shows all over the place. We see him building Diego Pacheco more LA based. So you never know, man. It could be as soon as my next fight that Eddie wants to headline me in a LA card as my own main event, or maybe in Pomona, the Fairplex, something like that. That'd be pretty dope. I think we could do something special with that.
Absolutely, and even the forum. I think the forum would be a amazing platform for you. A lot of old school
Yeah.
fights took place there, and I think you could. You've done a great job filling up locally the stands with obviously your father Neto doing promoting you. What is it for those who don't know? How instrumental has your father Neto been on your life and career? Just investing so much, backing you, coaching you. What's the impact that he's had for your career and life?
Man, a big impact. Without my father, I wouldn't be where I'm at today. I wouldn't even be, in this boxing position that I'm in. So, my dad's a very smart man. Like I said, he's been managing and guiding my career in and out of the ring. He's a great trainer. Like I said, man, we have a great chemistry. A lot of boxing son trainers don't work, but we find a way to always make it work, man, and we know how to win. So that's the most important part. And like I said, man, my dad's a very smart man. He's been guiding me, and like I said, I wouldn't be without him here.
Absolutely. And I've had the pleasure of calling two of your fights already with Jason Velez and last year as well too against Hank Lundy. And looking forward to seeing you develop more and more moving forward. And congratulations again on signing with Matchroom. I'm sure you'll be looking to fill up to your promise and potential, and looking forward to seeing you more on the main stage moving forward.
Cool. I appreciate it. Thank you, Manouk.